Right as the new year kicked off, the entertainment world was rocked by a leaked list of 18 A-list celebrities with massive tax debts. When influencer C-Ent chimed in, claiming everything's been paid off, fans everywhere felt a collective sting of betrayal. But while netizens were busy spiraling over the gossip, Song Zude, who's never been one to mince words, suddenly shifted the spotlight back to someone we lost nearly 4 months ago, Yu Menglong. At the same time, one actress bravely pulled back the curtain on what's really happening behind the scenes. She exposed how the authorities are using shady tactics to sweep this whole mess under the rug as fast as possible. But the fans aren't backing down. They're determined to keep their idol's memory alive. As more of Yu Menglong's past acts of kindness come to light, the internet has been flooded with tears, creating a wave of emotion that's touching everyone online. On one hand, we're watching these top-tier stars fall from grace, one after another, as their reputations crumble. But on the flip side, the longing for the one we lost only seems to be growing deeper. So today, let's dig a little further. Why is it that no one seems willing to back down? And why is everyone so hell-bent on chasing the real truth? Hey guys, it's Sean and welcome back to Trace Zero. How have you been? I hope you're all doing great, unlike me, honestly. For some reason, I've been feeling a bit under the weather lately. So please, take care of yourselves, guys. Anyway, speaking of health, it's not just our bodies that can get sick. The morality in our entertainment industry seems to be in pretty bad shape too. While so many people are corrupted by greed, we've lost the most genuine soul we ever had. And trust me, what we're seeing on the surface is just the beginning. Because you never know how deep this hole goes. Earlier, we touched on C-Ent, the influencer netizens have dubbed the national sister-in-law. On the night of January 2nd, she dropped a total bombshell that sent the internet into a tailspin. She boldly claimed to have slept with every single top-tier male star, and then, without missing a beat, leaked a list of 18 names all at once. Naturally, the internet went into an absolute frenzy. Even though the actor's agencies scrambled to release denials one by one, and C-Ent herself wiped her entire feed, leaving only a cryptic post saying, "In this new year, I want to love myself more." The damage was already done. This might look like a drama that just fizzled out, but the conversation it sparked isn't going away that easily. Enter Song Zude. This Chinese critic is infamous for his sharp tongue. We all know he usually lives for tearing people down and rarely has a nice word to say about anyone. But this time, amidst all the chaos, he brought up one name that truly tugged at our heartstrings: Yu Menglong. Song Zude argued that C-Ent's leak might actually carry some weight. His logic? If this were pure slander, she'd be facing some serious legal heat. He believes that if the police actually step in to investigate and the truth comes out, the perfect images of these male actors will be blown to smithereens. But honestly, the part that really got to me was what Song Zude said next. He didn't hold back, claiming that many male actors in the Chinese entertainment industry have a dark side that the public never sees. According to him, a lifestyle fueled by clubbing, womanizing, and gambling has pretty much become the norm among that crowd.
像白珍这样的纯洁、善良、正义的男明星是很少的，10000个里面都没有一个。
Hearing that just absolutely cuts to the core. It's a gut punch for anyone listening. Song Zude even went as far as to say that most male actors in this circle are so tainted and have become so corrupt, honestly, calling them the scum of society wouldn't even be an exaggeration. That's exactly why he's always advising kids from ordinary families to never, ever try to break into the entertainment industry. Hey everyone, before we dive into the video, we want to announce that we're launching a brand new segment called Trace Your Story. For this segment, you can send us a real-life story you've experienced, from horror and cheating to crime or any other true story you have. Send us your story at Sean Varel, traceyourstory@gmail.com, using this format. Email subject, trace your story. Story title, your title here. Tell us your experience in as much detail as possible. Feel free to include any supporting photos or evidence if you have them. Optional contact, your WhatsApp number or another way we can reach you for more information. Don't worry, you can absolutely send your story anonymously if you prefer. We'll do our best to create a video and tell your experience. I'm really looking forward to your emails, and who knows, your story might be the very first one featured on Trace Your Story. Don't forget to submit your stories. I'll be waiting and can't wait to read them. To be honest, in today's world where everyone is obsessed with chasing fame and fortune, Yu Menglong really stood out as an outlier. He just didn't play by the rules. If you look at how things usually work, when certain powerful figures want to take someone down, even to the point of erasing their social influence, the fastest and most lethal way to do it is by completely destroying their reputation. Just think about it. Yu Menglong has been gone for nearly 4 months now, yet no matter how hard they look, no one has been able to dig up a single scandal or dark secret. If anything, as netizens keep peeling back the layers of the entertainment industry, a place often dismissed as a filthy cesspool, they're only realizing more and more that he was a rare, priceless gem. First off, there's the reality of how broke he actually was. Despite being a famous artist with a career spanning years, word is he was constantly sidelined by his agency for refusing to play by the industry's unspoken rules, the shady stuff like forced setups or high-end solicitation. They even went as far as withholding his pay. His financial situation was actually pretty dire. In a city as expensive as Beijing, he lived in a rented apartment for 12 long years. One netizen even put together an animated film to honor his memory. There's this one detail in it that's absolutely heart-wrenching. It shows fans clutching a little fish covered in wounds while they sob uncontrollably.
那两个人被欺负成什么样了？我刚刚看到他住在那么小的房子里，买200块的蝙蝠穿，北京这么冷。他还高兴的屁颠的给人家评论，一个大明星你怎么可以混成这个样子？你怎么被欺负成这个样子？
Even though he was so incredibly frugal, almost stingy with himself, his generosity toward others was so overwhelming that it just breaks your heart. Netizens have started digging through the archives again, uncovering old photos and videos that prove just how much he gave of himself. Way back in 2014, he was already taking the initiative to join the Ice Bucket Challenge, trying to raise public awareness for ALS. Other netizens have dug up photos of him attending fundraisers for leukemia patients as well. Seeing all of this, it's just suffocating. Fans are left grieving, wondering why someone like him was fated to leave us so soon. And given the tragic way he passed, isn't it only right that justice is served for him as quickly as possible? At this point, I actually want to ask you guys something. Have you ever crossed paths with someone who's just innocently kind? You know the type, people whose own lives might be a struggle or who don't have much themselves, but they're always the first to lend a helping hand to others. If you've ever met someone like that, do me a favor and drop a yes in the comments. Or maybe share a little bit of their story. I truly believe that in this day and age, genuine souls like them deserve to be seen and appreciated by the world. Moving on, we're heading into some heavier territory, the whirlwind of controversies that started swirling right after Yu Menglong passed away. After Yu Menglong passed away, the authorities ruled it an accident involving alcohol. If you just look at the official reports, the case seems closed, cut, and dried. But in reality, the doubts and suspicions swirling among the public have never stopped pouring in. Why are people so skeptical? It's because the events that followed are just getting harder and harder to wrap your head around. The authorities were incredibly quick to crack down on anyone accused of spreading rumors, and they started scrubbing any discussions about the case from the internet on a massive scale. Even more recently, some netizens have been raising red flags, claiming the authorities are allegedly starting to manipulate or even alter the photos of Yu Menglong that are circulating online.
Hi guys， 在杜顿找照片的时候，发现他们又开始出阴招了。他们现在在篡改萌萌在我们心中的印象，在百度上现在出现了10%到15%那样占比的 AI 或者其他软件生成的照片，然后图片以下面4个为例子贴在这里了。大概在半个月之前，陆陆续续就开始有这些照片了。你定睛，你单眼一看，哦，这可能是萌萌。但是你仔细看的话，会发现它的眼皮、双眼皮形状，然后还有它的人中位置、鼻子位置，还有眉毛位置都不是于朦胧。然后这种图片的出现，都是对于他生前的影像的一种篡改，并且它每一张 AI 的图都比萌萌自己的难看，就非常抽象。然后，如果这张照片多了的话，就会让它留在世上仅存不多的一些照片成为其他人的，就是数字虚拟的，并且如果他们后期对它进行其他的捏造、谣言或者干嘛的，有这些图片的支撑，大家就很难找到原图，因为它很多图片都是装造，是萌萌自己的。只是把照片2次加工了，就变得 AI 了。那样子，他们如果拿这个捏造虚假的东西的话，很难分辨。所以，如果最近大家在看到 AI 的姐妹们，请大家记得提醒他们一下，评论区里或者私信一下，跟他们解释一下为什么不能用 AI 以及 AI 产生的问题。然后百度上你可以跟他说，已经出现 AI 产生的不好的照片了呀。
It feels as though someone is desperate for Yu Menglong to be forgotten, trying to bury this case once and for all. But this time, netizens aren't backing down. If anything, people are more determined than ever to keep his memory alive until the truth finally sees the light of day. This war to protect our memory is truly something else. You might not see massive protests in the streets, but you can feel the resistance from everyday people in every corner of life. Some netizens have gone as far as renaming their home Wi-Fi to 911 Yu Menglong was massacred. Honestly, it's a genius move, because anyone nearby looking for a signal is bound to see it. In a shopping mall in Guangdong, his face suddenly flashed across the electronic screens. Similar videos popped up on giant outdoor displays at other malls across the country. For safety reasons, netizens haven't named the specific malls, and the footage was later blurred out, but word is that crowds of people still flocked to those locations just to show their support for the shops there. Over in a residential complex in Chengdu, a resident hung a massive portrait of him right on their front door. Then there are those who consistently write letters to the authorities demanding the truth. Netizens call them carrier pigeons who refuse to stop even as the years roll by. Someone even covered their entire car in his most famous quotes like, "Born as a human, live toward the light," and "I just want to go home and be with my mom." One netizen put it perfectly, and their words really hit home. If photos are banned and animations are banned, are you telling me we aren't even allowed to type anymore? Here are 27 words for you. Go ahead and delete them if you want. I'll give you credit if you actually manage to pull it off. It's exactly this kind of spirit that shows just how deeply the public hungers for justice. There's a quote from one of his fans that's forever etched in my mind. "Don't you worry that this persistence will just fade away. As long as we're still drawing breath, that is the living proof that he was here. It's okay to cry, but don't you dare give up and never let time get the best of us." This has moved far beyond just being a fan. It feels like people are fighting to hold a moral line. There's a shared sense among netizens that someone so honest, with such a pure heart, shouldn't be allowed to lose and just vanish into thin air without some real, solid answers. Why is everyone so incredibly sensitive about how Yu Menglong died? And why is there this lingering doubt that it wasn't just a simple accident? The answer takes us right back to what we touched on at the very beginning, the actual state of things and the toxic environment within our entertainment industry. Just recently, a topic titled "Actress Speaks Out on the Industry's Hidden Rules" blew up across social media platforms in mainland China, racking up over 10 million views in no time. An extra, a background actress, boldly stepped up and made a video to blow the whistle on these secrets. With a hauntingly calm voice, she admitted that there really is a dark side of unfairness in this business that the public never sees. It's the kind of stuff that makes people think the entertainment world is just filthy and chaotic. But she also dropped a very harsh truth. These hidden rules aren't a problem with the industry itself, they're a problem with the people in it. In her view, trashy people exist everywhere, just like back in school, there's always going to be that one person who gets a kick out of bullying their classmates. Even if that perspective sounds objective on the surface, the old records dug up by netizens have left people with no choice but to suspect that the waters of the entertainment industry are just far too deep and murky. Take Huang Zitao, for example. He once hit a breaking point during a live stream, venting his fury about being pressured to go out and drink with clients. He even went as far as strictly forbidding any of his employees from attending those kinds of drinking sessions or entertaining clients like that. Even an A-list star like Yang Mi hasn't held back. In an interview about her early days in the industry, she revealed that she once received a hint, a clear signal of a latent rule from a director. Because she turned him down, she woke up the next day to find her role had already been given to someone else. Back then, Yang Mi bluntly stated that in the entertainment world, there are absolutely people who are willing to sell their souls just to get ahead or climb the career ladder. If even the biggest stars have been through that, then what chance did someone like Yu Menglong have? Here was someone pure and honest, someone who flat out refused to play dirty. What must he have faced in an environment like that? Netizens have already dissected 14 suspicious points surrounding his fall, even going as far as creating death analysis diagrams. They suspect he was backed into a corner and met his end precisely because he stood his ground against those latent rules. While his studio has released a statement denying any foul play in an industry built on backroom deals and traded favors, the sudden death of someone who refused to compromise is always going to leave a bitter taste of suspicion. Song Zude's remark that you wouldn't find someone like him, even among 10,000 people, isn't just a tribute to Yu Menglong. It's actually a stinging slap in the face to the current state of the entertainment industry. After talking through all of this, I have to be honest, my heart feels incredibly heavy. On one hand, we have these leaked lists of 18 A-list stars from an influencer, showing just how shallow and chaotic the industry really is. And on the other, we see someone so pure, gone far too soon, without a single answer that anyone can truly believe in. Everything netizens are doing right now, from renaming their Wi-Fi to putting his face on giant screens and consistently writing letters, isn't about just causing a scene. It's their way of fighting back against being forced to forget. It's exactly like what one netizen said when they shared this video. Thank you to all the kind souls who have spoken up for justice, and to everyone who keeps striving to bring a bright light to this world. Surely, none of us want to live in a world where being kind makes you a target for oppression, and where honesty becomes the reason someone can't even survive. The case of Yu Menglong might still be a long, drawn-out tug-of-war. The authorities might want this buried and forgotten, but as the netizens say, as long as the longing runs deep enough, it can transcend everything. So, what do you guys think? Will Yu Menglong's case finally see the light of day where the truth is revealed? Or will it end up like so many other entertainment mysteries, slowly sinking and fading away into time? Please share your thoughts in the comments. If you also feel that a soul like his deserves to be remembered, please help us by hitting the like button and sharing this video. Don't let this topic just slip away. Because if you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.